Coming up on today's show, we take a look at the future of Trojans Hockey Club. We talk to some of the young skiers who take to the slopes at Southampton Alpine Club. In university sport, we talk to Sylvain Denude, Southampton Solent's male basketball coach. And finally, we check out the men's football team and get the thoughts of manager Dominic Cunliffe. Trojans Hockey Club is respected as one of the best clubs in Southampton and also Hampshire. Located at Stoneham Lane, the club boasts over 10 teams that compete at a variety of levels. Joint Chairman Simon Gibbons has seen improvements concerning the standard of hockey and believes the sport is heading in a positive direction.
I think England hockey now has an idea of where it wants to go, and it's now feeding down those directions and actually pulling together packages and ideas and concepts of where it wants the whole game to go. Everything from facility management to officiating to coaching to partnerships, all that stuff, and I think they're getting some success.
The club has spent £300,000 on new facilities, of which over half was generated through funding from Sport England. The majority of the money was spent on relaying a multi-sport synthetic pitch. However, there were still better options available.
Again, the top end surface is a water-based surface, but the problem with that is it's about 3 times more expensive and has about 2/3 the lifespan, and we don't have that much money, so we had to go for the best fit. There will be an element of sand in the synthetic pitch, and the more sand you've got, the longer it'll last, but the duller it is. It's a flatter surface, it's a harder surface, it's a slower surface, but it's a resilient surface. We want to get as close to water-based we can, but without having to fork out the extra £1.5 million.
Ladies first team coach Chris Gittens is more than happy with the new facilities at the club.
It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. The surface, the playing surface in particular, has made a massive difference. The old pitch, there are a lot of the modern skills we really struggled to coach, and since this has been redeveloped, it's made a huge difference. We've got a bit of a long-term plan at the moment. We'd like to get back to playing Premiership hockey. It is a long-term goal. It's not going to happen overnight, but having this pitch to play on and the stand on its way and camera platform and everything like that will play a big part in that, I'm sure.
London 2012 saw Great Britain's female hockey team secure an Olympic bronze medal. Gittens believes the Olympic Games has been beneficial for the sport in this country.
Up here at the club, massive impact. We've added an extra ladies team, so we've now got a ladies fourth team. Most of the players are players that are returning to the sport after having not played for a long time, or players that are getting into it for the first time. So it's had a huge impact, the success of the games in general and the success of the ladies hockey team. We've seen a large number of people come and join the club, and we hope we can just continue to develop and grow off the back of it.
I think it's growing in publicity, so it's getting bigger and bigger as the GB team win more and more.
It's obviously grown a lot, thanks to #HockeyFamily. Everyone seems to get involved. A lot more people have joined playing hockey since the Olympics, so it's good.
So why choose Trojans as the club to play hockey?
Just I needed to change, and it was a good club in National League, so you've got more room for improvement.
The fact that it was National League, I played 3 divisions below this before I went to university, so it was like the closest good club to go to.
Despite the wet conditions, it seems like nothing will dampen the bright future of Trojans Hockey Club, as the success continues to roll. Southampton Alpine Club is a dry slope skiing centre for the next generation of young hopefuls. The facility provides youngsters with the chance to learn to ski and progress further within the sport. The skiers at the club come from a host of backgrounds and got involved in the sport for various reasons.
Well, I came in for a lesson one time and I met someone who actually asked me to come along with him because I was friends with him. And first I went to Tuesday sessions for a bit, and I got more into it, so I decided to go Thursdays, and I've been doing it ever since.
I don't know really, just my parents used to do it, my sister was already doing it, and then I just got into it and had a tryout and just thought I like the sport.
It means you can go fast. It means you can go very fast down through poles, and it just means you can whack things.
I don't know, my parents were both into it, and then I sort of went from there, joined a club down at Christchurch, and then joined the race club, and haven't turned back.
The club provides a fun environment for children as young as 4. Frequent competitions give the kids the chance to compete for medals and improve their own performance. So what is it that the kids most enjoy about skiing at the club?
What the kids enjoy is seeing their times improve. They enjoy getting their little medals at the end of the race, especially the young ones. And for them, that's a big thing to get a medal at the end. And it's also to see how much they can improve during the season. So the courses seem to get faster and faster as the season goes on. So they start with quite a slow time, and it's nice for them to see their time improve after each month.
Speed, bit of adrenaline, especially when you get onto snow, you hit some pretty insane speeds, so that's always good fun.
The lack of snow in England makes it difficult for the sport to grow in popularity within this country. However, there are other reasons that hold skiing back, and members at the club believe more could be done to push the sport forwards.
It needs a bit more publicity. Like the Winter Olympics that we've just had's done it quite well. I mean, more people get into it, but it needs to be cost effective and that sort of thing as well. But it generally is, but there's not many places that you can get into it.
Funding, definitely. I think the funding from the governing bodies, because it's not a main sport in England, then there isn't there, and you need that to progress to the top level. I think that's the main factor, really.
There aren't that many slopes around. I mean, for us down here, Southampton is the closest slope, and it's a plastic slope, so it's not as much fun as skiing on the snow. And the snow domes, the closest one is over 2 hours away, and the cost is really expensive. So I think it's a big cost factor. There aren't as many snow domes around. The plastic slopes are great, and it does make the racing affordable, but it's lacking. There are not enough around.
I think that they should get out more snow domes and slopes and encourage more younger children to race on dry slopes, because it is very fun.
And when it comes down to it, for children, fun is all that really matters. The skiers may be on a downhill slope, but for the sport in this country, it looks like being an uphill battle for the foreseeable future. Basketball was the highest scoring sport in terms of bucks points for Southampton Solent last year, as the university as a whole fell in the rankings for a 3rd consecutive year. The team also competes in a national league, and manager Sylvain Denude believes that this is a factor behind their success.
Yes, because we can crossover training sessions. I've got Bucks players who are coming to National League training session. I've got Bucks players who are playing for the National League, and then we can attract players saying you're going to play for Bucks and National Leagues. So it's much more training session, much more games per year.
Danude has been at the helm for 7 years now and recognises that although basketball struggles for popularity nationally, he is more than happy with the support the university give towards developing the sport and the recent success they've enjoyed.
We are struggling in England to develop basketball. It's not a major sport. You've got football, you've got rugby, you've got cricket. Basketball at national level is still struggling to get facilities, to get clubs. So it's good to have that and develop that within the university, because within the cities it's really difficult to develop a club. I don't know if you understand what I mean. You need to hire facilities, you need to find a place to play. So through the university and pushing and developing basketball, that's a good thing for the sport.
The coach believes the team has a chance of reaching the top division next year. However, basketball isn't the only sport holding its own within the Bucks rankings. Football was the second highest scoring sport for Solent and rose 8 places in the rankings from the previous year. As well as basketball, Team Solent also compete in a competitive league outside of university. And manager Dominic Cunliffe believes this is a huge advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to also accept and realise that on sort of Bucks on the Wednesdays we do have players who play at a higher regional level on Saturdays, so therefore they're at their own parent club, but they come and play for us on Wednesdays. So we do benefit sort of twofold, if you like. So we have those better players coming down and joining the squad on a Wednesday, which then promotes better football. And those are the type of players we're trying to attract to come to us, as you say, regionally on a weekend in the Sydenham's Wessex League. You know, we're doing very well in that league, and we're unbeaten in sort of 9 games so far, and we've done well in the FA Cup, FA Vars, League Cup, you know, all these cup competitions we're entering as well. So it's going to bode well, definitely, and I think having the same, or the nucleus of the players on a Wednesday and a Saturday certainly helps our cause.
Although football is doing well in the rankings, Cunliffe admits more must be done if the university wants to improve their overall score, and believes the size of the university should also be taken into account.
You also have to remember that we're a relatively small university compared to others. We have a relatively small number of teams. We could quite easily cater, mentioned earlier on, the number of trialists that come down. We could have 5 or 6 men's football teams, and they could get points each year. But we're looking at quality, not the quantity. And you know, if the university decide that they're going to say, right, we want to go up the Bucks table, then they're going to have to put them hand in the pocket and say, actually, we're going to have to cater for 5 football teams, men and ladies, as well as 5 rugby teams, 5 everything else like that. So it's all about being cautious, spending the money wisely. But I do know that a lot of the support staff are working tirelessly hard to make sure that we go up the rankings.
And that hard work seems to be paying off, as the men's team ran out 4-1 winners against Winchester to go top of the table. But only time will tell, as all of the teams at Southampton Solent continue to strive for success. Coming up on next week's show, we meet Saints fan and professional boxer Chris Hobbs as he looks to maintain his undefeated record within the sport. We catch up with Olympic silver medalist Pete Waterfield as he announces his retirement from diving. And in university sport, we find out how the Solent Redhawks are faring this season.